Here we are again. Welcome to OmEn Online. It's just us today. I'm Adam.
I'm Johnny. We don't own the rights to the music playing, just so you know.
We were just talking about Johnny and how he's
been on a sick kick lately. I like music. My main forte is heavy metal,
Awesome.
but I listen to anything that I like, and she's really good.
Hell yeah. But we hope you enjoy the show. We hope you enjoy us just sitting here talking to each other.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing what we normally do.
Yep. All right.
Are we going to be live this time?
It's been removed from the app temporarily.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, because we've been doing really well on there.
Yeah, it should be back before too long.
Have you heard anything else about it?
Not about that specific thing, but about BitTorrent itself. Apparently, they have a new acquisition to announce. Should be really soon. I think it said next few days. So, and Tron, the owners of BitTorrent now, 3 Tron dApps, which is a decentralized application. 3 games or something, because I don't know what they are, but 3 dApps are going to be released with the Galaxy S10.
Cool. Alright. So, yeah. It's just us this time, no guest for us.
Right. We had someone that was going to show up. He couldn't make it. He had a little emergency situation last minute, but it's all good.
It's all good. We're here to entertain you. And ourselves.
Oh, okay, so for all y'all that don't know, I'm heavily into cryptocurrencies. I think I've mentioned it before. Not heavily financially, because I PO, but I love the technology. I love the ideas behind it.
I don't understand it fully, but he explains it to me.
Do you understand your credit card?
Yes, I understand my credit card.
Okay, then you understand transferring money electronically.
Yes, I understand that.
Then you understand it.
No, I'm not saying that. Like, I don't understand the fluctuating of the market and things like that, how to read those things. That's where you come in for me, because you help me with those things.
Right. When I actually have time to watch it, I learned a few little tricks. They don't always work, but they make a little bit of money. If I were to trade, at peaks had made sometimes $150 to $100 in a day just doing little micro trades. And
that's actually pretty good.
Right. And then the reason I don't do that currently is I had an emergency situation happen in the middle of one, and while I didn't lose my money, I lost a ton of profit.
It happens.
But I've pretty much made that back at the same time. It's just, and it wasn't like I lost my money, so I still had the same amount of money I had. I just didn't have the extra money. It was fun though. It was really fun. Actually trading little micro trades. So if I was losing, I wasn't losing much at a time. And if I was winning, I wasn't winning much at a time either.
But winning's winning.
The problem with that is, without having a clear-cut regulation taxation on them, it was, people were more or less trying to figure it out and sometimes getting it wrong. But we're getting new regulations in 2020 to clarify the difference between the currencies, the securities, and something else. I forget.
Cool. So, on that topic, let's put a pin in that, and we'll come back to it if we have to.
Okay.
What's something else we got going on?
I don't know. Like what?
I don't know. I mean, I've been out to a few places lately, but not a lot. Because it's been that time of year. It's kind of rough to get around and do a bunch of different things.
Yeah, it's Christmas time. It's man, no,
No, it's
I
New
got
Year's time now.
huh?
Now it's about to be New Year's. Whoever
No,
put
actually, when we do this video, it's going to be
yeah.
end of January.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is the January 22nd video.
Oh okay. I feels it. Sorry.
I might cut that part out
Why?
because I said I was going to now.
Why not? Just leave it in there and make them think we're gonna cut it out. Nah,
Okay.
they're not gonna know.
Yeah.
Either or.
Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, we've both been busy with a lot of things going on, man. I've been researching into some different things, different cult things and stuff, and
Right.
paranormal. I've been seeing some shit about it lately. Well, I get notifications from groups I'm in, things like
Of
that, and
course.
things
Of
they put
course.
out. We have some pretty cool people out there right now.
See now you all right. The guy, and we both know him, Charlie Chainsaw, Shannon
Wayne
Bowman.
Bowman, yeah.
He's Shannon Wayne Bowman. He's in one. He has one called like the 502 Paranormal or
Something like that, yeah. It's like Laramie. He's got the Derby City Ghost Hunters.
Right.
I don't participate in those things mostly just because I don't see the point. But at the same time, if that's what they enjoy doing in their free time and things like that,
Right.
go right ahead.
I think it'd be cool to go with them one time though.
Well,
just to experience what they're doing. And I'd like to go to a place that is like known to be haunted, like something that's creepy as fuck.
Like Waverly Hills.
Like Waverly.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much your best bet around here for known haunted.
Waverly would be a good one, man. If we
but
could
I
get
know how much that's going to cost us.
We're looking at the future episode. We got a little while. We got a little while to get this done. We can plan it out. Talk to everybody. Talk to Tina, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And see what we can make happen. We do know a lot of people up there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can figure out a way to make it happen.
They all like me.
If we get a bunch of people that we know is already getting free tickets, and we get a whole group together.
Well, see, if I'm well off enough next year to work for compensation, I'll just do compensation for the haunt if I can. You know what I'm saying? At the end of season, I'd get 9 free tickets.
Right.
So, just sell them off at a decent rate. Sell them off at the normal rate of what they sell them for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And keep a couple for my things, you know what I'm saying? Because it's mostly going to be people in my group going up there, and we go up there, or find some people from one of the paranormal groups and just take a film crew with us up there and do it.
That's pretty much what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's...
We go up there, we find one of these investigative groups that would like to go up there, and we go up there with them, with the film crew, so we can see what's going on, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully get a chance to catch something.
If you do, you do. Don't, you don't.
Right.
I've seen some things there myself, personally, but that's me. Not everyone has the same experience.
Yeah, maybe
people that they say that they don't think it's haunted at all.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's your opinion, man. Maybe, nothing's ever come to you there, and you've never seen anything there. That's not everyone's, able to do that. I'm pretty sure they only let you see them if they want them to or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Could be.
Me personally...
Or they don't like you.
Either or. But if they don't like you, I think they'd want to be seen then to try to scare you away.
Right. No, that's what I was saying. Either you they want to talk to you, or they don't like you.
Either or.
Yeah, could be.
I mean, I've been in some places in there by myself, and I'm sitting there going, man, why do I feel so strange right here by myself? But it's like, it didn't really bug me, you know what I mean? Right. Maybe it's just because I'm so used to the haunted house itself that when I'm going through the haunted house area, nothing really bugs me. But I bet you if I went up on one of them other floors where I didn't feel as comfortable, I'd probably get freaked out a little bit. Because, see, the haunted house areas, I can walk through there no problem. Even if I see or something, I don't get freaked out. But if I go up on one of the other floors, I think I'd get freaked out a little bit.
Right.
But that's mostly just because I'm not used to those floors. I don't see them like that all the time. I don't know my way around like I do through the haunted house place.
Right, right.
But, you know.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. But, I mean, I like those kind of experiences. You know, the things that make you wonder.
Well, it's kind of like when you took me years and years and years ago, when you took me to Witch's Castle. You know what I'm saying?
Witch's Castle.
That was creepy as hell, but I loved it.
We went there several times. I took a lot of people there.
I had never seen it before until you took me there.
See, and that's right around where they built that new bridge at, right?
Really?
So, I don't remember exactly if they built it through it,
Is that
or
the new
I think
bridge
it's
that
just
goes
beside
over
it.
To the east end?
The East End Bridge, yeah.
I see. I've never been to the East End Bridge, so I don't know what it looks like.
Right? It's real similar. It's different, but it's similar
to the toll bridge.
To the toll bridge, the new bridge, but it's by itself, so it actually looks nicer. Because this one they built two different style bridges side by side.
Yeah, I know. That's weird. But I'm under the impression that one day they're basically going to take down the other one and put another one like that up. But that's just me. But I'm afraid too when if they close down the New Albany Bridge, that's going to hurt a lot of people.
Yes, it is. And if they start tolling it, that'll
hurt them too because yeah, I mean that'll hurt them too.
And it's crazy. It's crazy because we pay the Department of Transportation for these things, right?
Yep. And then they're going to charge us.
And then they want to charge us again with the excuse that we've got to pay for it. It's like, man, haven't we already paid to have our roads taken care of? Don't we have a tax specifically for that?
Yeah. I mean,
why are we having to pay again?
Because, I mean, don't they have that same tax in New York?
And that's another thing. The tax, you get taxed on the money when you make it. You get taxed again when you spend it. You get taxed on any money that you try to pass on to the next generation when you die. You get you get an annual property tax just for having money to own property. How many times do they tax you on the same money?
They tax you on it all the time. That's how the government works, man. They take your money. They say they're using it for shit. They do use it for shit, yes. But at the same time, they also use your money for a lot of shit that you don't know about. Like all them secret bases and shit like that, where they do whatever testings and whatever. You're paying for all that shit.
Somebody, who was it? Who the hell was it? Somebody just admitted that they don't know what happened to over $1 trillion.
I saw something about that the other day. It's kind of like when just the day before 9/11 when Donald Rumsfeld came on and said that they were missing $2.3 trillion. And what happened? Oh, wait, 9/11 happened the next day, so all that went away. Nobody ever really talks about it much anymore.
Man, there's a video. It's grainy, so you can't say it 100%, but it, swear to God, looks like a missile going in.
Oh, I know. I've seen that video. There's a lot of shit going on there. And it's just like with the jet fuel. It doesn't burn hot enough to melt the steel beams.
It doesn't.
The only thing that can do that they know of that can do it that quickly, that precise...
Thermite.
And they found traces of it.
Now, here's my thing, right? That was the most elaborate, most badass robbery ever committed, because everybody's worried about the lives lost and who did it and all this other stuff, but nobody knows that there was like billions of dollars worth of gold underneath the Twin Towers, right? And when they dug it out, it was all gone. And they only found about $1 million or $6 million worth or something along that lines in the back of a semi-truck that broke down underneath Building 7.
It was being moved.
It's gone. It was being stolen.
Exactly.
This fucking like the Italian job times a billion or something like that.
Yeah, it's like fucking. It's like Oceans 12, 13, 11, whatever the fuck.
Right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
And get this. Somebody like a day before or 2 days before put a bunch of put stocks on those airline companies. And I believe I'm using the terminology right, I'm fairly certain, but what it is you're betting on the loss. You're betting that the price of the stock will go down. Right?
So it's basically if you bet, if the stock goes down, you win.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes up, you lose. So basically, it's another form of gambling.
It is. But they put like
it's gambling on
tons of money out of nowhere. Like so much it was unreal. Like the day before 9/11 happened, on those specific airline companies that it was going to happen on. So whoever did that, it could be like one of the richest people in the world, but nobody will claim it because then they're telling on themselves.
Exactly. But also, if you think about it, the owner of the damn buildings, just weeks before it happened, put fucking, terrorist or whatever the fuck kind of insurance it was on it. He just
had the insurance afterwards, he had the insurance pay out. He just got a bunch of insurance put on it. And then after it happened,
he had it doubled
because there were 2 different incidences.
Yep. So basically that rich man just got even richer.
Well, I can understand insurance paying for buildings he owns. That's what you pay for insurance for.
Yeah.
But he played with wording to get twice as much money.
Mm-hmm. And you know what he should have done with that money? He should have gave it out to those people's families, some of that money out to those people's families and things to help them out since, their person or whatever that passed away.
You know what? That would have been fucking real good of him if he did that, but he took the amount of money it took to rebuild the buildings, and he gave the doubled amount, 100% of that, to the families. You know what I'm saying? Split evenly.
Yeah, because
to pay for all funeral expenses and fucking everything.
Everything. You know what I'm saying? Because if he had paid to rebuild those buildings, he already had the money to pay for it through the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have just took that money, gave the other bit away to those families.
I can't hate on his hustle. I'm not going to hate on his hustle, but at the same time, putting that insurance on right before
kind of
looks suspicious.
Exactly.
But that just goes to show that I truly don't believe. I mean, all right, the black box from the plane didn't survive the crash, but one of the guy's passports did and landed like 2 blocks away.
Yeah, no.
Are you serious? I mean, how stupid do we look?
Well, pretty stupid because most people.
Yeah.
You got to remember too.
It's when what they tell us.
How old were we?
Oh my God, I was
2001. That was almost 20 years ago.
I was 20 or 21.
That was 19 years ago, basically. So
20. I was 19 or 20, I guess. 18 maybe, 19, 20, something like that.
29. I'm 38. Minus 20 would be 18. So I was 19. We were 19 We were 19 when
We
that
were
happened.
19. That's crazy. About a month and a half apart.
I can tell you exactly what happened when I found out about that. I was at home sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the first one had already hit. And my mom woke me up and was telling me about it. And I was looking at the TV, and then the second one hit shortly after.
I just got home from work from Greyhound, maybe not long before, and I was still staying at my parents, and I was going to college at the time, right, and working at Greyhound, and fucking, I was downstairs in my room, and they had the heater repairman or water heater repairman. I'm thinking it was the heater repairman come in, the furnace repairman. And when they're coming down the stairs, I hear him talking about a plane hitting. And I just turned on the news real quick. You know what I'm saying? Usually I don't. Bad things happen. I go back to sleep. But I just had the urge. I turned it on and I was watching. And just like you, man, I seen the second plane hit.
See, that's just what kills me is I seen what I seen on TV, but that's not every angle. That's not every bit. That could have been staged angles. Like, okay, this is going to be the best way to capture this one. You know, that shit, no offense, you can't tell me that the media doesn't work with the government in certain capacities.
Well, most media outlets are owned by just a select few people,
which are,
and they regulate what's put out. But my thing is, I think they were real planes. But the plans for 9/11, you can find the plans written out years before.
Oh, I know.
It's a freaking now declassified NASA document where they wrote down the plans to attack America on its own soil by flying planes into the World Trade Center and how they were going to do it. And this is fucking our government's files on how to attack America, right? And it was followed pretty much to the letter. And that's fucking...
It's insane.
It wasn't declassified at the time. Nobody had access to that file.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. It's fucked up. It should have never happened, but it did.
Mm-hmm.
And people like Jon Stewart shouldn't have had to go up against the fucking courts or whatever to plead for the firefighters and first responders and all that to get their medical insurance.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
That's ridiculous. Those people should be taken care of.
They showed up quick to help, to save lives, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And put their lives at risk, and a lot of them died trying to save people's lives, man. They deserve every bit of glory. They deserve praise for that. Anybody who's willing to put their life on the line for somebody else understands what fucking life is.
It's just sad because the thing is, somebody did carry out those attacks. Somebody gave the order for it.
Uh-huh.
And them and whoever conducted in it are the ones who are going to have to deal with whatever afterlife they believe in.
That's true. That's true.
There's no way that, you can tell me for the shit that they've done, they're going to a heaven or anything like that. I can't believe it. And I don't believe in religion. I believe in religion. I don't believe in what most of them say. I believe they do have bits and pieces of truth in them.
Uh-huh.
But it's up to me to figure out what my own truth in that is.
Right.
And me personally, I just can't adhere to any one religion, so why should I adhere to one?
See, and that's exactly what I think. When we look at religion, especially the major religions here in America, they're all based from the same original foundation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the way I look at it is like, you ever play the game of telephone as a kid?
Oh yeah, all the time.
And you'd whisper in the next person's ear, and the next person's ear, and the next person's ear, and by the time it got to the 10th person or something like that,
it's almost completely different.
It's almost a completely different story. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And And you see how many different branches we're still branching off into nowadays.
Exactly.
So the way I look at it is when you look at those kind of things, those kind of games, you don't look at what's different. You look at what's the same, because there will be certain bits and pieces, there will be certain truths that proceed through the entire evolution. And now when you get to the last person, it might be completely different, but there's one idea that stays through the whole thing. And all major religions have one thing in common.
I know. The golden rule.
See, you know, because I've given you this before. I haven't given them this, though.
Well, go ahead. I don't care. Tell them.
They all have the golden rule, and you can Google this. Feel free, because you got Judaism. It says I forget what it says to be. Pretty much says to love each other, right? It says to be good to each other, and it says. I actually gotta look it up, because it says this is the whole of the Torah. The rest is just commentary.
Do you know what I think one of my favorite quotes? Have you've seen Dogma, right?
Right.
Chris Rock, when he says, "I don't like to think of religion as a faith," he's like, "I'd rather think of it as an idea, because you can change an idea. Changing a faith is a lot trickier. People die over a faith. People kill over a faith. You know what I'm saying? Wars are fought over it. An idea can be changed."
All right, here it is. What is hateful what is hateful to you, do not do to your neighbor. This is the whole of the Torah, all the rest is commentary. And that's Hillel Talmud Shabbat 31a.
Talmud Shabbat 31a.
I probably murdered the pronunciations.
I probably did too.
All right, Islam. Not one of you truly believes until you wish for others what you wish for yourself. That is the Prophet Muhammad Hadith. Let's look for Sikhism, Christianity, in everything. Do to others as you would have them do to you, for this is the law of the prophets. It's real simple. I mean, they all preach one thing: treat other people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do.
That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh.
I know, man.
It's a key that's so simple and hidden in plain sight. You know, I want to be treated good, so why would I treat other people horribly? And the same thing, it works with the law of attraction. Law of attraction.
It's kind of like, don't look down on people unless you're helping them up.
It creates a vibe that passes forward. It plants a seed in someone that...
You do one good thing, it can spread on.
Man, somebody just says, man, you fucking look sharp today, man.
I mean, I see people, I'm out and shit and about, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like, I see some people African American persuasion, and if they got good dreadlocks or something, I tell them, hey man, I like your dreadlocks, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm real picky about dreadlocks.
Uh-huh.
I like dreadlocks, they're cool and all that. I don't have them personally, and I won't. But I can tell you if dreadlocks look good or not. Because some people get the nasty, matted up looking ones.
Right.
Or they're clumpy and stuff.
Right.
I think those are disgusting.
I feel it.
That's just my personal opinion. And I understand people grow their dreadlocks because of their faith or their religious purposes or whatever, like the Rastafarians.
Right.
But there's the thing, though. Even as a Rastafarian, you can still take care of yourself.
I feel it. I don't know much about that religion, I'll be honest, so I can't really comment on it. I have heard that they grow that for their belief.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, it's kind of like most Rastafarians especially older ones, they don't really shoot. They don't really take care of their hair either, because kind of like when Bob Marley died. Do you know he had 23 different types of lice in his hair?
I've heard that.
Because, see, it used to be the only way to really have dreadlocks was to not clean them and clean your hair, stuff like that.
Right.
Well, the thing is, now they have stuff out for that where you can still do your hair without, messing up your dreadlocks.
So, like you wax it or something like that. Clean it and then re-wax it. Really?
Now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've had them out for a few years now. But, like, they actually have shampoos and different things that you can use for them now to where you don't have to have dirty hair to have dreadlocks.
Right.
So you can actually have clean hair.
I feel you. I don't know nothing about it. I can't even lie.
Well, I mean, when I had hair, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I researched into these things, and I thought about getting dreadlocks at one point.
I feel it.
Back then, that was a long time ago, and they didn't have shampoos and things like that. The only way to really get dreadlocks still was to have dirty hair. And I don't like having dirty hair.
Right. See, I don't either. But did you know that I heard in school that lice are more likely to transfer to clean hair?
Yes, but that's in school. Because here's the thing. Have you ever noticed you don't really ever see lice except for from schools?
A kid gets it, and then it passes on.
Yeah, but it's kind of like where does the lice come from to begin with?
Right. So it has to come from somewhere. That's
kind of like scabies. Do you know what scabies are?
I do, vaguely.
They're skin lice.
Uh-huh.
That's what they are. I had them once when I was a kid, and trust me, it is not fun.
Oh my God, scabies. I do know scabies. Fuck that. I've never had them, though.
I did.
I've seen people with them.
Me, my brother, and sister all got them when we were little.
Uh-huh.
I was probably 8 or 9 when we got them, and we had to put this lotion on everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere. I'm talking everywhere.
My computer's listening to you right now.
Well, cool. Somebody's listening to me.
It turned off. It was for real. Turned on the voice for a second.
It's because we were talking about 9/11 and shit like that.
Probably so. I bet it was the CIA. They've got me bugged. I swear I didn't do it, man.
Look, man, these are just theories.
Yeah. Scientific theory. It might be wrong.
You know what I'm saying? The thing with scabies is they make you scratch your skin real, like, you just scratch until you're bleeding.
You can't help it because they're eating you.
Yeah, but the only way to really deal with that is to pat it, pat where it's itching,
Uh-huh.
Just like when you get a tattoo.
Just like when you get a tattoo and it starts healing and it's itching, you just...
You tap it, you don't, Yeah, but that's what it was then. I don't know what it is now that they do, because they might have a pill you take or something now.
Right.
But then again, probably not, considering that lice treatment hasn't really changed.
They're coming up with all kinds of like natural things nowadays. Like I got this dewormer for my puppy. She had worms for a bit. Well, I'm still fighting it. I ain't gonna lie, because I'll get rid of them, and then I think she's a poop eater.
Probably.
But it's got like pumpkin seed and stuff like that in it, and it works. I mean, there's
a home remedy for putting in your kids' hair where it keeps their hair nice and clean and pretty looking.
Right.
But it also keeps them from getting lice.
I feel it.
I have it saved somewhere on my phone because I saved it because it's like, oh, that's a nice little trick.
Right.
And it's a natural remedy.
Well, everything is allergic to something, I guess, because I think of a poisoning as like an allergic reaction. Maybe it's not the exact same thing, because an allergy is like your histamines or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think of it like an allergic reaction because it's simply your body reacting to a substance, right? So everything has a negative reaction. I guess that'd be more accurate. Everything has a negative reaction to something.
Yeah.
Which is weird. There's always an anti.
Yeah. Like an antihistamine.
Right. But if you go those undersea volcanoes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have all those bacteria that are living in sulfur and resistant to all kinds of toxins and situations. There's one called a water bear that you could actually put it in vacuums, freeze it for years, dry it out, dehydrate it, and then you put water back on it and it comes back to life.
Kind of like a sea monkey?
Kind of like a sea monkey, except for sea monkey shrimp. But this is like the most resilient living organism.
I thought it was those, they had them in Ant-Man. I'm trying to remember the name of them.
Well, that's a water bear.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a water bear.
But they had a different name for it.
There's hold on, let me look up the scientific.
Because they were talking about how they could send them out into the cold of space.
Oh yeah.
And they come back to life once they reach somewhere.
Water bear scientific name.
I want to say it's like
scientific name of
tardigrades.
There it is. I knew it was something with grades. I'm like, something grades, but I can't remember what it is.
Yeah. Tardigrades. They're like the most resilient creatures there are. And just think if you shot one out into space, and inside a meteorite or something, and it went to another planet. What if that is the origin of all organisms?
It could be, dude, because you think about it, there's that theory where we come from Mars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's true because I don't know if it is. It's like we're the leftover remnants of what was Mars. Because Mars almost looks like a place where it was destroyed somewhat by like nuclear war or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the ice part, the nuclear winter has already passed on it, but now it's just barren fucking land.
I think that the possibility is there, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if life started on Mars, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if there was a meteorite from Mars that flew to Earth? And what if both planets were in the Goldilocks zone, right?
Yeah.
So life evolved on both. It was ahead there, but it evolved on both from the same genetic foundation. So they were at least similar. And maybe some cataclysmic event happened on Mars, so they escaped Mars and came here. Or maybe they came here before they had to escape.
Well, I was going to say, you think, too, that could be the story of where Noah and the Ark comes from originally, in a way? But there is also the Egyptian version of that story, too.
Here's one that most people don't think of, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Anunnaki, the Sumerian belief.
Yeah.
They came here from their planet.
Enki and Enlil.
They came here from their planet to mine gold to try to save their atmosphere. Is what I think Zachariah Stitchin, and he's been proved to be completely inaccurate on a lot of stuff, but a lot of people have similar translations to at least parts of it.
Kind of like how they did in Battlefield Earth.
They came to mine gold. That's for certain, right?
Mm.
But it's supposedly to save their atmosphere. Now, Mars lost its atmosphere millions of years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what if that part of the story is true, but we came from Mars to mine gold to try to save Mars's atmosphere. Mars died anyway, we got stuck here. Or they went back and died on Mars, and we are the creation, the adapa, the primitive worker, the mixing of this. Because if we started from the same DNA base, what if they did merge our DNA to create humans? Now, here's a weird thing about humans. With our skin type, yet being a great ape and a mammal, and our skin type, it suggests that we were more than likely an aquatic ape.
You know what's kind of funny?
Huh.
The way you say that, we're hairless apes.
Like, we are a great ape. We are a great ape. We are part of that family.
Yeah.
All right? That's 100%. 100%.
Oh, I know.
But with our skin type, we should be more like dolphins, or it suggests that at one time in our life, we may have lived aquatically, right? Which is crazy. And secondly, something about the way our skin reacts in the sun that most other animals here on this planet that evolved on this planet don't do.
Like sunburn and shit like that.
It appears that we were not, our skin type was not created in this radiation type.
Yeah. Basically, that's where the melanin comes in because it helps to block it. So the darker you are, usually the better off you are, but at the same time you're not because you're also absorbing that heat.
And I don't mean between white and black. I mean, yes, the dark skin tones do help in sunnier areas because they help produce the vitamin D needed and all this other stuff. But still, that's an evolutionary trait.
Evolutionary
trait,
yeah.
Our skin type doesn't suggest that we are from this planet, that we evolved on this planet.
Yeah. Well, see, you know, if you look at it like that, I'm thinking to myself that if you think about it, all the different skin tones that we have from where we are, what if we're all certain types of apes that were genetically engineered or whatever, or whatever it is?
Right.
You know, each one of us were from those different regions, and that's how we're adapted to it.
Again, back to the Sumerians, you know what I'm saying? They believe that each family had their workers, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if each family, as they took their slaves, their workers, whatever, with them, whatever they treated them as, they made them look the way they wanted to, so that they were identified as theirs?
Well,
so like say Quetzalcoatl was a specific. What if the whole alien thing is true and Quetzalcoatl was a specific alien and he took a skin tone, marked his people as the serpent's people? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Enki had his people and Lil had his people, and they were all ruling because they all ruled over different areas.
Yeah.
So what if they all had their own people and they marked them as their people by making them look like their people?
Different, or like miniature versions of themselves, because that's basically what they say.
That's the weird part, because if you go to South America, their deities were depicted, if not in their serpent form or whatever, their animal form, as appearing Caucasian or similar body types with full beards and the hairstyle, right? But those hairstyles didn't happen in South America. And those beards, they didn't grow beards at all, period.
Yeah.
But they're gods, and it's a weird thing. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? You know what I'm saying?
You think they could have been the red-haired giants?
If you go... That's a great thing, because we have found red-haired giants. What if the giants were the gods all along, and they were red-headed? All right. So every continent on Earth has the rumor of the giants and the rebellion of humanity against them, right? Who were the giants? I mean, you got the Nephilim, the Anunnaki, the Anakim, the Raphaim. You know what I'm saying?
The Donatello.
Depending on your religious belief and the time frame, right? they all had the giants. If you go to Native American, they talk about the giants and how they turned cannibal on them, so they went and killed them all. They massacred all of them. Right? But what if that's what happened in every culture?
Maybe.
Maybe there was one greater than us, because we found the skeletons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're just still somewhat suppressed.
We have pictures of them. We have pictures of Queen Elizabeth visiting the Smithsonian with a giant skeleton. You know, we have George Washington in his journal telling how he found giant skeletons when he was digging the Star Fort something or other in Virginia. We have Abraham Lincoln saying, and our eyes look on Niagara Falls just as the giants did before us. Or that may not be word for word what he said, but that's what he said. Just as the eyes of the giants looked on them before us. You know what I'm saying? We have records of these things and these things happening, but it's washed away. Maybe it truly is they were here before us. We are a creation, and that's what we're washing away.
I like your take on this. It's pretty good. It's a lot of different things into play here. Because, like you were talking about with the different gods and things, it kind of reminds me of like the movie 10,000 BC. I'm pretty sure I've told you this before, where it's like some. You can't really tell what the leader is in it.
That's a good movie.
But you kind of have a thing that it doesn't look like everyone else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's got the veil across his face. Yeah.
You know different. What I'm saying? You never really can see what it looks like. And, you know, I've seen some videos here lately. I watched this documentary on Hulu the other day called Above Majestic, where they're talking about all these different conspiracy theories, you know, about how the reptiles and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And how they're living in the center of the earth and all these underground cities and tunnels and things.
What about the Hopi Indians that believe they were saved by going by the ant people that live underground or something along that lines? You know?
I don't know this story. Can you elaborate?
I'd have to look it up to go into detail, but
because I don't know this story at all. It sounds interesting. Do you want me to read it in my melodramatic voice? And lo, there they came unto the Indians.
Ant people of the Hopi ancient origins.
Ant people of the Hopi.
The Hopi Indians had a desert. Hopi gods direct them to build a number of villages made up of pueblos. Most intriguing Hopi legends involves the ant people, who were crucial to the survival of the Hopi. Not just once, but twice. The so-called First World or World Age was apparently destroyed by a fire, possibly some sort of volcanism, asteroid strike, or coronal mass ejection from the sun. The Second World was destroyed by ice age glaciers, or a pole shift. During these two global cataclysms, the virtuous members of the Hopi tribe were guided by an odd-shaped cloud during the day, moving star at night. Oh my God, that sounds like going through the desert with fucking Moses.
Here's another thing, though.
They finally took them to the ant people in Anu Sinom. The ant people then escorted the Hopi into subterranean caves where they found refuge and sustenance. In this legend, the ants were portrayed as generous and industrious, give the Hopi food when supplies ran short, and teaching the merits of reason why the ants have such thin waists today is because they once deprived themselves of provisions in order to feed the Hopi.
Okay. That's interesting.
So, more or less, the people underground knew there was a cataclysm coming, and they came and got the people of the world and moved them underground to save the human race.
I like that idea, but here's another thought. Now I was talking about the Ice Age in there. Do you think that the Ice Age could have came because of nuclear war?
It could have been anything from nuclear war to a natural nuclear eruption to fucking volcanic eruption to asteroid strike, because you get volcanic winter, you get the ash cloud from a giant meteorite strike that can create a winter, you got pole shifts, you got the simple tilt of the earth changing that goes from hot to cold. There's so many things that could happen, and it's hard to say what. But if you read that, that's talking about 2 ages of man. The Egyptians, right? The Greeks went to the Egyptians, and we said something like, who was it? It was Plato's.
Socrates?
No, it wasn't Socrates. I've been wanting to say Socrates, but anyway, the guy who actually went to the Egyptians and recounted Atlantis to Plato so that he wrote down the story. All right, this guy said that he went to the Egyptian priest and said, now I know there's been like 2 ages where we're like the second or third age of man. We know that. And he's like, no, you're wrong. Where there's been like 5 ages or something like that.
Yeah. Well, see, I think that we grow, we destroy ourselves almost, and then we have to go back and start regrowing again.
I think it could be anything from we destroy ourselves to natural disaster, because there's so many different things that can destroy life on a planet.
Yeah.
And if you just I mean, arc could be a number of things. What if the pyramid was built as a big water plug to an underground layer? You know what I'm saying? And use the pressure of the water to generate electricity using the piezoelectric effect while it was underwater, right? And there's always talk about ancient underground cities and stuff like that. And what if that is it? What if it's a plug to an ancient underground city to survive a massive flood? And what if that is the ark? And they use the electricity generated by the pressure on the pyramid, the piezoelectric effect, to generate light, to grow their food, to do everything.
Well, they do say that the Great Pyramids used to be covered in this white rock or whatever it was.
Limestone.
Okay. And that might have helped to collect energy or something like that.
Mm-hmm. The granite, I believe, used in it was high quartz granite. So it actually, when you put pressure on quartz, that's what creates a piezoelectric effect. So putting the weight of an ocean on top of the pyramid would theoretically generate a lot of electricity. Mm-hmm. And you have the limestone casing. I forget what that was for, but what if that was to help us survive underwater? What if there really was a flood? That's crazy.
Well, there's a lot of different things you can take into that. Because, like I was talking about with the Ice Age thing, though. Because if you think about it, you've seen Alien versus Predator, right?
Mm-hmm.
They find these underground temples that were apparently, in the flashback they showed, originally a lush, jungly type area. Mayans almost.
Right.
With pyramids and shit.
Well, we know Antarctica was once a tropical continent. We know that we found the plant life and seeds, so that adds to that.
Well, see, the thing is, remember how when they showed in that flashback, the aliens were losing, or the predators were losing, so they set off their little arm thing, and it was basically like a small nuclear bomb went off.
Right.
And, maybe that's how all that happened. Because now they're starting to show findings of where they're finding pyramids and shit like that in Antarctica and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's kind of like, and, Antarctica is apparently off limits now. to any non-civilians.
Yeah, or non-military, non-government personnel or something not invited. Yeah, you can't just travel there for no reason.
And if you are going there for no reason, you have to get all kinds of clearances and pay all kinds of money.
Right. But anyway, we're coming to the end of the show. Dogs actually need a walk. I hope you really liked sitting with us.
We know we're interesting.
Oh, but hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You know, get to see more of us. It's really great having you here, and I hope you enjoy the show. Hit that notification bell so you get the notification. Actually, I've added a little thing to where we auto release every other Wednesday at 5 p.m. At 5 p.m., we premiere a new episode of OmEn Online. So follow us every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and hope you enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Peace.